Hey, Knoxville 363, I'm here today to do a comparison video between the Samsung Galaxy S3 and S2. Looking at the phones, they're pretty much identical with a few differences as far as design goes. They both have their power sleep button on the right hand side, headphone jack 3.5mm on the top. On your left hand side will be your volume rocker, and on the bottom will be your charging port. Obviously, as I mentioned in my review video, the S3 now has a physical home button on the bottom, and these are all just touch buttons on the S2. Both have a 2 megapixel camera in the front and full high definition 8 megapixel cameras in the rear with flash. The speaker grill is located right here on the bottom on the S2, and the speaker grill is right here on the S3. Volume quality on both phones is, I would say, about average. I haven't had any problems. It depends. When I'm listening to music, it tends to be a little bit lower. You can get a program called, if you just look up Sound Boost, I believe that's the name of the application I used on my S2, and you can increase it significantly. Obviously use that with caution because you can damage your phone. Both have nice little Galaxy S logos on the backs of the phones, and you'll notice that both come in the color white. The S2, however, you can get in a charcoal gray. Right now, I'm not sure if the S3 will be available in any other color besides white. I know Sprint offered it in blue for a contract phone. One thing that I did like about the S3 was the fact that now they lowered their power sleep button and the volume rocker. Both phones fit very comfortably in your hand, and buttons are easily accessible. Nothing's on the top to the point where you can possibly drop the phone. So I thought that they did a really nice job due to the fact that it is a larger phone than the S2. Both phones are actually pretty big when you're comparing them to other devices that are on the market right now. But because of the screen size, that's why they are larger, and lowering the buttons just makes it a lot easier for the user to access it. Moving on to our lock screens, I disabled the function on my S2, but you can have the shortcut menu directly here on the bottom. You will notice that the S2 buttons light up significantly brighter, which I think the S2 should have at least had an option to make the touch buttons a little bit brighter. But when you're in low lit environments, you're not going to have any problems locating those buttons. If we switch to our settings and we go to About Phone, I am still running a ROM on my S2, but I know that it did get the Jelly Bean update. So right now this is on a Sprint ROM, but as you can see, they're both on Android version 4.1.2. If I go back on both phones and I scroll up to your storage, you'll see here that, as I covered in my review video, I didn't download anything else. I have just shy of 12 gigabytes, and the S2 has 11.5 gigabytes of internal storage left over. As you can see though, I have downloaded stuff, so that's why it doesn't have full capacity. Also, there is stock apps that come on both phones. As I mentioned in both review videos, it's not a significant amount to the point where it would be necessary to delete stock applications, but that option is always available if you root your phone and you can download an application such as Titanium Backup. Both phones have very fast processors. They both have dual core processors. The S3 has a 1.5 gigahertz and the S2 has a 1.2 gigahertz processor. As far as battery life goes, because that is always a huge thing on any smartphone, I ranged it, and on my S3 I finally had to charge it up this morning. It clocked out at I think it was about 23 hours of use, or it being left on, not use, I'm sorry. And the S2, now that I've had it for a while and I have been charging it quite a bit, obviously, now the battery diminishes really fast. So if I were to keep the S2, I would need to possibly get a new battery. The S2 has a 1800 milliamp battery and the S3 has a 2100 milliamp battery. So you will see a slight increase in battery life on the S3. It's probably just because it's brand new. One thing that I wanted to point out as far as 4G goes, because that is really the selling point for the S3 over the S2, is the fact that now the S3 offers 4G service off the LTE towers instead of the S2 only being available on the WiMAX towers. If they had LTE available for the S2, I probably wouldn't have even thought about buying the S3. It all depends on coverage. Right now, as you can see, even in my house, as I covered it, if you've been following my videos for quite some time, I've always pointed out that service at my house really isn't that good. But over the months as they follow, now that Boost Mobile has so much competition coming along as far as prepaid networks go, you will notice that now I have really good service at my house. I even can make phone calls and text messages while I'm in my basement, which I wasn't able to do since I had an iDen phone. If you're not familiar with what that is, that's the chirp phones, the two-way talking. Now, as you can see, if I drop down the menus, there are just a few more additions that the S2 did not have. I scrolled all the way over on my S2. You have AirPlay mode, power saving, and your mobile data. Now, the thing about the mobile data is I wish that they gave you the option to see on the S2, I could flip on and off my 4G. Your S3 will remain on 4G, which obviously takes away more battery as opposed to 3G. So that's one thing that I wish the S3 would have had stock. I'm sure you can get it in an application to turn off your 4G. I just don't feel the need to, especially because I am enjoying the new 4G speeds. As far as the processors go, am I noticing a difference between the 1.5 versus 1.2? Yes, I actually am. I use the internet browser, Dolphin browser, instead of the stock one that comes on there. Chrome, and now that Firefox got the update on Android, it is really, really nice. The interface is actually really beautiful on that internet browser. I think that they did a really good job of the update compared. It was really laggy, and now they really did a good job. I don't know why it's showing up different temperatures. Probably because I didn't update it. There we go. I was wondering why they were different. As far as transitions go, you'll see that I'm not sure if this is part of the ROM, but you can see here that it just kind of fades away. The S3, as I pointed out in my review, it has a nice little page flip, and that's just the way it comes stock. The S3 has quite a bit more ringtones, but you can easily fix that on the S2 with the Zedge application. Once again, I always recommend that. It's great application for wallpapers, ringtones, and notification sounds. I've already covered the speaker. The notification light, which shows up right here on your S2, now shows up on your left-hand side on the S3. As I pointed out yesterday in my review video, if you download an application called Blink, it gives you quite a bit of options that the S2 does not offer. If I go to my LED manager and I select green, power off the phone, or put it in sleep mode, you'll see that it has green. If you use any other color besides red or blue on your S2, none of them will work. So I like a little bit something different. So now I use different notifications. For when I have Facebook, I have it light up blue, text messages show up yellow, and battery, I have it turn red. So those are just little things that I thought were nice. As far as the price goes, as you can see, the S2, when it first retailed, that came out for, I believe it was $299. I think it was $300, and the S3 is out now for $399. Do I feel that if you're coming from any other phone besides the S2, I highly recommend the S3 over the S2. If you have the S2 right now and you're debating whether or not you want to upgrade and pay the extra $100 to get the S3, do I think that it's worth it? I mean, it's all personal preference. I think it's worth it because I have been noticing quite a bit of speed difference. But I mean, you're not really going to be gaining anything else. Something else that's really small, and I'm just being nitpicky, is as you can see here, these are just the way the icons look. They have more of a larger look on the S2, and they're more compact on the S3. That's just something, I think the smaller icons look a little bit nicer, and that's maybe why they appear a little bit more crisp on the S3 than the S2. don't get me wrong, the S2 is a fantastic phone and had, I mean, that's why I didn't upgrade to the HTC, because I would have been downgrading if I got the HTC. I mean, if you're really gung-ho and you really want to get the S3, I would wait. Now, I'm not saying wait because it's a bad phone or a bad investment, but if you're going to be spending $400 on something, I would just hold off. If you have the S2, be patient, and if you really feel the need that you want to have something different, wait. BoostMobile.com offers so many nice promo codes to get 20% off, $50 off, whatever the case may be. Both are great phones, but at this point in time, for the little differences that I'm noticing personally, I wouldn't say that it's a $400 phone. I would pay $300 for it, but not $400. I just don't think that it's worth it. But anyway, it's all personal preference, and I pretty much had every single Boost phone, and I'm very, very happy. I'm pleased. I mean, I spent $400 on it, and I don't regret it, but it's just one of those things. So anyways, I'm going to stop blabbing on here. Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you want to see something extra, go ahead and send me a private message or leave a comment below, and go ahead and like, share, and favorite this video. I'll see you guys next time. But not least, thank you guys for checking out my video. Always appreciate the positive feedback. I will be giving away this brand new Samsung Galaxy S3 from Boost Mobile. All you have to do is leave a comment below, 1 comment per person, and I will choose the winner at random in a week. So good luck to all you guys, and I will catch you guys next time.